Authors Tell All, a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.
Again for our second show tonight. We are live with Troy Wavey. You are live with your host Shy Soul. Let's get into this. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, and you?
I'm doing great. Now, you're a new author out here, so let's get into this. When will your new book be dropping?
Release date is March 1st.
That's great to hear. You want to tell us about this book?
Yeah, I would like to. The book is about 3 kids who lived in the ghetto, who were going through poverty, and didn't have didn't have nothing. Their parents were poor, so they chose to go in the streets to get money. And it goes through what happens from the consequences of what they have to do to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds like it's gonna be a lit story. Now, what made you want to be an author?
I always loved reading since I was in kindergarten. I've always read as much as I could. And once I found a genre that I could relate to, it always inspired me to want to write too. Like when I read Terry Woods and Quan, Wahida Clark, it gave me inspiration that maybe I could do it too, because I know a lot about it.
That sounds just like me, because I did the same thing, was reading the same books, and gave me the inspiration to write as well. Now, with this book, is it going to be a standalone, or will it be a series? We'll be seeing, a part 2, maybe a part 3 to it?
There's definitely going to be a part 2 and a part 3. I'm already at work on part 2 as we speak.
That's what's up. You're already on it. Now, are you publishing your own book, or are you under a publishing company?
I'm under Black Diamond Publications.
It's a great publishing company. Nice. Now, what would you say was the hardest part, for your story? The beginning, the middle, or the end? Or maybe you didn't have one. Maybe it wasn't hard for you at all. But if so, which one?
The beginning was hard, but once I got into it, it got easier and easier. But the hardest part to me was finding the motivation to go on, because at certain times I felt like, no, this book's not good. Maybe I should just quit, or maybe I'm wasting my time.
Well, it's a good thing that you pushed through, because, now that book is going to be dropping very, very, very soon. And, you've builded your fan base, your readers, pretty quick. Have you ever had a book out before, or this is your very, very first book?
This is my very first book.
So, like, are you kind of nervous? Because I know I was. Are you kind of nervous of any sort?
I'm very, very. Like, everybody says it's good, but I just, now that it's this close to being released, I have doubts and stuff,
Well, I'm going to tell you this. It's going to be fine, because I had those same nerves, same butterflies when my book was going to drop. I mean, I'm still like that. I already know when I get on my 5th book release, I already know I'm going to have those butterflies. I'm going to be scared. I don't know what. I'm going to have the doubts and everything. So don't even be nervous. Your book is going to do well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. From the snippets that you posted to, the little trailer, it's going to be a great book. It really is.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Now, okay, as you being a new author, what do you think was like the most easiest and the most hardest thing for you to do? Meaning, I'm going to give you an example. The hardest thing was, putting your work out there. Were you like doubting to even get signed, or was it just easy for you?
Well, I had help getting into the publishing world from a good friend of mine that was already a published author. But the hardest part for me was believing in myself. I really didn't think that the book was that good. And then when I pushed the 3 chapters, I submitted it to 10 publishers. The feedback was amazing. It was unbelievable.
Well, that's definitely the best part of it, because, for you to be thinking like, oh, the story, maybe they're not going to like it, and then each publisher that you submitted to, you got good feedback, that's great. That's what all authors, that they need, or if they need that, that push, or if they even need a little help with their story. As long as you get that feedback on it, you're good to go. Now, with this series, I know a lot of authors with their first book, they're hoping that it shoots to that #1 release. Do you believe that your book will hit that hot 100?
At first, I did, but as the release date gets closer now, maybe I should go back. Maybe I should change this. Maybe I should do that. Now I'm nervous. But at first, when I first submitted the 3 chapters and the feedback, I believed I had a winner in my hand.
That's great to hear. Now, for your story, did you do any research, for some parts of the story, or did you just basically know everything, your own knowledge of what you wrote in your book?
Majority of my book is from I've seen it in my own eyes, and I just put it into a story. Fixed things, pushed, maybe exaggerated a little. But yeah, this was something that I've seen throughout my whole life.
That's gonna make a lot of your fans, your readers, new readers really connect with your book, because they're gonna see oh, okay, this author, really put their knowledge and street smarts and all this into the book. I can really connect with the author, and I can connect with the characters. Now, when you were selecting, your characters' names, was that easy for you, or did you have to did the names just come to you or anything like that, or did you have to brainstorm for your characters?
Majority of the names came straight to me based on people I knew throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
That lived crazy lifestyle. So it was like I used people I knew fully when I made my characters to give them more life. I felt like it was easier for me to give them more life.
That's pretty cool. Now, if you were not writing, what would you be doing? If this was not your life now, what would you be doing?
If I wasn't writing, I would have a negative lifestyle. I was doing stuff that wasn't good. So this really changed my life for the better. Made me a better person. It helped me get a way out.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm coming from, a lot of people don't make it up.
That's a very good background, inspirational story too, for people who have been through things you have been through. So, telling that can really help. I was in the same position that you were, and I did this to get out of that situation. Find something that you love just as much as I did the same thing to, better myself. So that's great. That's really great.
Right. Yeah, it's really unbelievable. When it first all went down, I was really overwhelmed. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
To this day, I wake up and oh shit, I'm a published author now. I still can't believe it. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that doesn't happen too often. I was the same. I still feel the same way. Ooh, I got a story I gotta write. Oh, I have a chapter that I have to write. I have to write today. This is my job now. I've been writing since I was little, so now it's not a hobby for me anymore. It's just completely my lifestyle. Is just writing.
Right.
Just writing all day. So what's your writing routine? I have one myself. What's yours?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I said, what's your writing routine? I said, I have one. What's yours?
Yeah, I find it sucks, but I find that the best ideas come to my head early in the morning. 5 in the morning, sometimes I'll stay up till 5, and then I can write 2, 3, 4K, and it'll be all good. If I write any time before that, it's usually stuff on the door, and I don't like it. But if I write it at 12, 4 in the morning. I was like, you know what, I could do it way better, then I'll redo it.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, you kind of a little bit answered a little part to the second of my question. What is the most difficult part of, your artistic process? Mine is kind of the same way. I'm not a morning person, like, at all. So my ideas are the opposite of when you get yours. So, I'll get mine like late night at this time. This is around the time where I'll be writing until like 2 a.m. and get like 8K done, spread that out until 2 chapters, and then get 10K done. Around this time, that is when I be up just writing. What's another difficult part of your artistic / writing process?
Well, I'm very like indecisive. Like I always like, oh no, I don't like it. No, I do like it. No, I don't like it. Like that's it. That is a problem for me because sometimes I'll write something and I'll scrap it out. Then I'll show somebody like that was really good. Why'd you throw it out? Why you doing that in the book? And now I do it out. Like I'm a really indecisive person. So that's a big problem for me.
Yeah, me, I am what you call a little bit of a perfectionist. Even though nobody can really be perfect, I just want all my chapters, all my characters just to be perfect in a sense. Like you said, if it's a part that you don't like and you scrap it, I do the same thing, but I don't just throw it away. I had a habit of doing that at first, writing 5K or more, and then we'll read it over and be like, oh yeah, I don't like this, and then I would just delete it. I stopped myself from doing that because I can go back to that same chapter, edit it, but leave it for that book, or put it into a different book. That was just how I am. I'm glad I got myself out of that because I was deleting stuff that was really great for that story and I just didn't see it, or other stories that I had. Now, another thing that hits authors so hard is writer's block. Have you ever had it in writing your new book? Have you ever had writer's block?
Yes. I've actually been dealing with it a lot with part 2 because the reviews from part 1 are so great that I just feel like it's gotta be perfect for part 2 because how am I gonna match part 1? So it's taken me a long time to get I've only got 8 chapters and it took me a month to get there. Definitely suffering from writer's block a lot. I'm coming through it slowly.
Yeah, that's good. My tip is when you have writer's block, what I do is I go straight to my publisher and I'd be like, I'm having writer's block and for this story I can't get past that. So she will tell me to, just read my book out loud to myself, that chapter that I'm working on that I'm stuck on, or talk to her about it, or somebody that I really talk to about my books. So doing that, expressing it and acting it out can really, help with that writer's block. Okay, it's never good to, force it or anything like that. But, if you read out what you wrote, it can be a paragraph. If you read it out to yourself over and over again, sometimes some ideas can, shoot off. Another idea that I do is I listen to music. I cannot write without listening to music. Like, it doesn't work for me. It cannot be too quiet in my space for me to write. I have to have me some vibing music or music that will correspond with what I'm writing to help me out. So that's a good thing to do with writer's block too.
I can't write without music. I can definitely relate to that. I have to listen to music that goes with what I'm writing. It helps me get into character.
really too much remember which chapter I was working on. It gave me writer's block, but I know it had to do something with, I think it was something grimy. I can't really too much remember right now, but I was not, and I really wasn't listening to music at the time because that's how, frustrated I was with my own story. I was feeling like I should delete it, but I was like, I can't delete it because, I really put my heart into this story. So the moment I just read it out loud and my ideas for it, I read out my ideas perfectly, but just didn't know how to, express it out on paper. So when I put on some music that really went what I was writing, all the ideas just started flowing. Everything just started flowing quickly. And I ended up writing like more than 10K that night. So, yeah, that really, really helps. So, like I said, and somebody just commented, they said, add it into a file, you might need it in a different book, and never toss your work. That is good. Never, ever, ever toss your work, because, like you said, you showed it to somebody else. He was like, well, why didn't you want to add it in your book? Because I wasn't feeling it. Never throw that away, because you can use that in a different story that might not correspond, what you were writing for that particular story. So, So my question is, where do you see yourself, since this is your very first book, where do you see yourself as an author in a couple of years? I say like 5.
5 years?
Yeah.
5 years from now, I wanna be able to have my own publishing company and be able to give people who don't feel like how I felt like there was no way out a chance to do something different. I want to be able to give them, like a voice. And let them know that it's not, don't have to follow the norm. There's other ways out instead of risking your life or stuff like that, I feel like I can be successful and help people out.
Right. Me, I feel the exact same way with my books. Now, do you believe with this first book that you're putting out, do you believe that you're going to get the backlash, the good backlash, the good reviews that you want? Just what you just said, that they're going to be like, I can relate to this. Do you feel as if this book is going to do that for you?
I feel like I'm going to get a lot of mixed reviews, to be honest. This book has everything. It has the urban, it has the straight lit, it has the love. I don't know. It's just the feeling, like, oh, I don't know if it's going to go. I don't know. I just been so nervous since I got the release date. But if you're looking for a great story, then I feel like I should get a lot of good reviews.
Yeah, exactly. Now, a little bit off of that, is there any other genres that you want to, write into, or you just want to just stick with, the street lit, the crime stories, genres?
Well, I've already started on a side project, love story, strictly love. I started a strictly love story, and I started a story that was filled with, like I would call it drama. It's gonna be sad. A sad story.
Well, I like it. I cannot wait until the book comes out, because as soon as it comes out, you're gonna see me sharing the heck out of it. I'm definitely gonna read it, and I'm gonna be reviewing it too, just letting you know, because from what I read, I already feel as if the book is gonna be a hit. You did really good with what you done so far, so
Thank you.
one up for you. Now this is a time where you can shout out your social media. You can tell any authors who's listening right now how you feel. You can shout out any authors that that you love so much. any of that nature, you can do that right now.
I've actually been reading a lot of RDA's books. They gave me a condition for a book of my own. Jana B. She has a great book out. This thing called Love. I like that a lot. I like that book. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want a chance to be heard, you know. I just want a chance to be heard. I feel like I got a great story. I feel like a lot of people can relate to it at certain parts. Anybody can relate to some part of the book.
Exactly, I feel you. So, I was gonna say, where exactly can we get this book? Do you have a website yet? Is it gonna be on other places than Amazon?
It's gonna be on Wattpad. It's gonna be on ebooks, Amazon. I'm pushing forward to be on paperback, so it can be in libraries in my city, and maybe one day Barnes and Nobles.
I like. The goals are very much there. It was great to have you on the show. I cannot wait till this comes out. The book comes out when again, so the guys can know?
March 1st.
Okay. Be sure to get the book March 1st. Okay, you guys? This is going to be a hit. And let us know the title of the book. I'm going to put that in the comments too.
The book is going to be called From Corner Boy to Kingpin, a Jack Boy's Love Story.
I love it.
Thank you.
Definitely. When the book drops and we get all that great feedback, I'd love to have you on the show again so we can have a very full-on book discussion. You can do anything you want to on the show. You can do giveaways and all that to really interact with your readers. But other than that, I'd love to have you on the show again. It was great having you on.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
It's no problem. Good night, guys. See ya.
Authors Tell All, a podcast by Shy Soul. She's bringing you author interviews, book discussions, and more. Stay tuned.